And we are off. Beefcake number 19. My name is Wilson Horrell, but I'm not who you came to see. The entertainment is making its way through the crowd as we speak. He's out of the dressing room. He's wearing a cape. They have fireworks. Is that a live tiger? And here he is, Mr. Von Rawls, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up? I'm here. I have arrived.
You have a riven. You have a rivet. You are what everyone came to hear. What are you going to do with that tiger? Do you have a handler? Did you bring your handler?
You know, it's funny. It sounds funny, but I actually do have a tiger handler,
What is your tiger handler's name?
George.
Where'd you find George?
I picked him up at a gas station one Saturday morning when I was getting gas. I saw this guy across the parking lot. He was standing outside of the convenience store, possibly selling weed. But he looked like he could handle tigers. And so I just approached George and I said, George, I'm an important person. I have a tiger and I need someone that can tame it.
I have a tiger and a weed habit. So I'd like for you to tame my tiger and sell me dope.
Yeah, so George is a pretty handy guy.
We're going to have George on the podcast sometime.
He doesn't talk very well.
Thank you, George, for all that you do. We're going to have George checked out, his background checked out. Vaughn, what's your favorite theme song?
What's my favorite theme song?
Yes, do you have one? Or what would be your theme song?
That's a great question. Do you mean like what's my favorite? There are so many categories.
I think that I'm asking if you're feeling confident, if your life is going good, what do you want people to hear when you walk in the room?
I got to tell the first thing, the first thing that came to my mind was the Super Mario theme.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. It's your theme song.
It is. You're right. It's my theme song.
Well, I'll tell you where your theme song for today came from. It came from a friend of ours off of Twitter, Carly Ann Rigby. And you can find Carly Ann Rigby at Carly Rigby, which is at CarlyRigby.
Right on. That's the second week in a row that we've given a follow to someone because I'm going to go follow her right now.
You better give her a thank you.
Oh, I will. I'll tweet her and say thank you.
That was really nice of Carly Rigby.
That is really nice. Thanks a lot, Carly.
So I've enjoyed coming up with your theme songs. I've enjoyed having the audience come up with your theme song, and I've enjoyed having the interaction with the audience that comes with your theme song. So naturally, theme songs have been on my head as of late.
It's a very important thing when you start talking about theme songs, and I worry that people don't take it as seriously as they should.
It's a serious topic. I wrote about it. I met a guy who had a theme song, or who had a song.
What do you mean?
I'm about to tell you about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, do tell.
It's the blog that's coming out right now. It's the blog that's out. And I told you not to read it because I enjoy doing this show, I believe, more without you reading the blog as opposed to you knowing what we're going to talk about. Yeah. I like having you just thrown in there.
I totally agree with that. I agree with that because what happens when I know beforehand, I start thinking about it and then I want to sound good and I don't sound relaxed. So I'm not like, I sound like I'm saying something that is prepared, or I sound like a ding dong. So I would much rather prefer just not knowing and then just giving you actual conversation.
and then being able to blame sounding like a ding dong on the fact that you weren't prepared.
Right, because if I screw up, I can be like, well, he never tells me what we're going to talk about, so I have to just wing it.
We do much better unscripted than we do scripted because scripted can sound pretty bad.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so let me tell you what happened. I was with my kids. We were going to the gas station. It was Friday of last week, and I had to stop off and grab some snacks. I was getting something to drink. And as I was walking in the door, this gentleman held the door open for me. And I said, "Thank you." And he said, "How's your day going?" And I said, "It's going really good. Thanks a lot." I started to walk a little bit further, and he said, "Do you like rap music?" And I said, "I like some old school rap music, but not really." And he said, "What if I told you I was the best rapper in Memphis? Would you buy my CD?" And I said, "No, I'm not interested." And I had immediately shut down. I didn't want any more than that. He said, "Say no more. Hey, I appreciate you listening to what I had to say. You good, man. Let's be good to each other." Those were his words. And I checked out and I walked back to the car and I thought, man, that was a really nice guy. He was totally different than I was. Obviously grew up in a different fashion than I have grown up. He had the baggy jeans, he had his own style. He was just much more inner city, but he had that thing about him. He had that song. He had that attraction. And when I got back to the car, I gave my kids their stuff and I thought, I want to go back and buy that guy's CD. I don't feel obligated, but maybe I feel like I owe it to him. I appreciate what he's doing, and I liked his song. I want to go back and I want to see what he has to offer. So I walked back in and I said, "Hey man, I want one of your CDs." And he was in the checkout line, and he said, "You got it, sir. Let me get checked out." And I told him the real reason I'm buying this is because I appreciate your hustle. And I appreciate your shutting the hell up when I told you that I wasn't interested. And he said laughingly, "I try to sell my music everywhere I go. And when people don't want to hear me, they don't want to hear me. So I get quiet real fast." And I said, "How much you want for the CD?" He said, "However much you'll give me." So I said, "I'll give you $5." He gave me a CD. He didn't have a case. I had no way of knowing if there was any music on there. I didn't really care if there was music on there because I had no intentions of really listening to the CD. I was just supporting his hard work, his hustle.
Wow.
It made me think about what kind of song I carry because this guy had a loud, positive song, and it was palpable. You could feel what he was putting off, and I appreciated it, and I wanted to show my appreciation by purchasing what it was that he was selling.
That's pretty impressive that you probably made that dude today doing that.
Well, I think he made my day. He made my weekend to some extent because I thought about him all weekend. And he moved me enough to where I was able to sit down and write a blog just strictly on the way that he made me feel. And that's worth something. That's worth $5.
Yeah.
He said, I will move you to the point to where you will want to sit down and you will want to write about it. But it's going to cost you $5. I'd pay it every day.
First off, you made it way further than I would have. I would have never. I would have like walked around the gas station the opposite direction 3 times or something just to avoid even making eye contact with the person. And
Well, I was already locked in. How would you have avoided that?
I don't. I just shut down and just you don't. I just shut down.
Like, when he opened the door for you, would you say thank you, or would you just put the blinders on and
No, I'll just be gone. Like I can see the guy, I can see him coming. I know I don't want to talk to this guy already, and I'm moving on. And this is funny because it happens to me a lot. Where like I'll be just the other day I'll be pumping gas, and this guy wanders over from behind the gas station. Is like, "Excuse me, sir," and I'm like, "Clank, clank, get in my car, drive off." Like that's it. I know I don't want to talk to this guy. I'm just getting in my car and leaving.
I want to know what's going on with that guy. Like, what do you have? Tell me. Are you wanting money? Are you selling candy bars for your kids' PTA, or are you about to beat me over the head with a pistol?
Yeah, I don't know. I usually do not ever find out.
Well, I usually find out, and I don't want to say I'm quick to temper, but I shut down pretty quick if they're trying to sell me something or if they're asking for something. Most of the time, I'll give. I don't have a rule as to when I'll give or when I won't give, but
Well, you do you know the rapper's name? Can we like plug him?
We can.
Did
I
you
should go get the
did you
CD.
listen to the CD?
I did, and it's that trap rap. It's not bad. It's
Is it dirty?
it's dirty. Yes.
Uh, Come on,
But
man.
what music like that isn't dirty?
I don't know. It just makes me uncomfortable.
Well, I'm not
My
gonna
theme song is
play.
definitely not a trap rap song.
What's not?
It's my theme song is definitely not a trap rap song.
It might be on Friday,
Oh
whenever the next episode is. Maybe I'll do that.
no,
Maybe I'll.
because we have to keep it clean for iTunes.
Well, maybe I'll find a clean section of it and introduce you with our buddies' music.
There you go. That's what you should do.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna do.
I had another thought that I forgot.
So a friend of mine was talking about when the Undertaker enters the ring. He's a wrestling fan, WWE, the Undertaker,
Okay.
and he described his theme song and his entrance into the ring as it will reach into your heart and it will move your soul,
Yes.
which is pretty awesome. And I don't believe that you have to be an Undertaker to reach into somebody's heart and move their soul when you walk into a room.
There you go. I agree with that.
And I think you should be conscious of it.
Now, was he talking about his actual like cuz wrestlers have like theme song, like they have like music that they enter the room to. So what he was saying was his actual song that he used on the when he went to wrestle would reach into your heart and touch your soul.
Correct. Like whether you were watching him in Cleveland or Memphis or wherever, when he busts up on the scene and they turn on his music, it will grab your soul.
Well, was that the truth?
I haven't heard it.
Oh, you don't know what it I'm disappointed in you that you don't know what the Undertaker's theme song is. I thought you knew everything about wrestling.
I'm old school, man. I'm Memphis wrestling. That's pretty much where I stopped.
Oh, well, the Undertaker, he sounds, I mean, I at least knew that was a wrestler, so I just assumed that it was old school.
Yeah, he's pretty old school, but he's not like old school Memphis Monday night card, Saturday morning wrestling.
Yeah, but I still think there's a little difference in like my theme song and a wrestler's theme song that's used on the TV. On Facebook, I think you asked people like what would your theme song be or something. It's funny because like a lot of people see like the initial reaction is to post something like Pantera or like something that is gnarly and badass, you know. But I don't think that's not my theme song. I think it really is closer to like Super Mario Brothers because I don't walk around going like like all the time. When I walk into a room at a party, it's not like you know.
You don't kick in the door and rip your shirt open.
Right.
The music that I was talking about was like intro music, like your one opportunity.
Like your first impression.
Yeah, or I mean, or like if you get to position yourself in that, if you get to walk into a ring, if you get the opportunity to be a champion, if you're going to go out on the floor
Okay.
and compete in the NBA Finals or the
Oh yeah.
CrossFit Games or the Super Bowl, that's more of like a cocky, here I am, like let's get jazzed.
Right, okay. I was thinking
But
more
that
along
kind
the lines of like just everyday walking around. What's your theme song?
what you carry around with you.
Right, but I get what you're saying.
And that's what this is more in regards to is what you're carrying around. The fact that you are carrying around a song all the time, whether it's loud, hardcore, happy, or crappy, there's a vibe and there's a song that you're putting out.
Yeah, and I understand that, and nobody wants to be putting out sappy, depressing music.
But you know people that do that. Like every time you see them, it's like, wah, wah, wah.
Oh yeah,
Like the Charlie Brown teacher.
womp womp womp. I
And
get
then
it.
you know people that every time they bust up in the room, it's like some kind of Justin Timberlake
Like
sunshine.
Van Halen eruption.
Yeah. And that's what I want to be conscious of. I want to come into some Van Halen eruption all the time.
Yeah.
And then there's folks who don't have a song at all.
Oh, well,
You know,
that's
you ever been somewhere with somebody and then, people are like, who all was there? And you're like, it was me and Vaughn and so and so. And then somebody's like, well, Richard was there. Well, I didn't know Richard was there. He didn't say anything.
because he has no song.
Richard has no song. He has no soul. He's just Richard that wakes up every day. I think it's important not to be Richard that wakes up every day.
I hope I'm not Richard, and this isn't like some sort of roundabout way to like tell me that I'm a loser.
Folks, come on in. Here's your intervention.
Vaughn, you are quote unquote Richard.
Stop being Richard. Stop being Dick. Vaughn. This whole experience got me thinking about people, their songs changing. And I watched my children's song change over the past couple years. I've watched their song change since I've entered recovery and sobered up, and I've watched their songs change from when I was going through a divorce up until now, and I watched their song change when Amanda came into their lives and they start feeling comfortable and confident with her and around her, which in turn leads to more trust and confidence in me. And I have seen their song completely evolve into a finer tune.
Wow, that's awesome. It's very awesome.
When you reflect back on your life, is there a time where you hear your song to be different than it is now?
Oh, absolutely. That song changes a lot over time.
Do you think that there's more clarity in your song now than there was 10
Oh yeah.
years ago?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. There's a lot more happiness.
I think that with happiness comes a louder song that becomes more pronounced and more audible. And I can hear my song as long as I'm not worried about all the dumb stuff that I worry about. And like you said, we should have a beefcake based just on my worrying.
We should. And everybody's why can't I say that? Worrying. I worry
You know
about
how long
I worry about stuff too.
you don't say you don't worry. You don't worry like I worry. I know you don't worry like I worry.
We don't worry about the same types of things.
I don't know, but I just worry much more hardcore. I Pantera worry.
That's pretty funny. You're a hardcore worrier.
I am heavy death metal worrier.
Yeah, Pantera warrior. I'm a James Taylor warrior.
I want to be a James Taylor warrior. That's sweet, man. Being a James Taylor warrior is can't get any better than that.
I don't know. I don't even know what that means really, but
As long as you James Taylor circle yourself back around and take care of whatever you're working on.
take care of whatever the Pantera warrior is worried about.
I'm like, hey, this is Pantera warrior. Fix this. Call me back when it's finished.
Put that acoustic guitar down, James Taylor.
Quit screwing around with your acoustic guitar, dick. Start worrying about. Oh man. So, what else? What else do we have going on?
Deadlifts.
I don't think I can continue recording looking at you.
you,
Like this. When I see you on my screen, it just makes me want to laugh.
you can turn my camera off.
We had a sweet podcast today with K.O. Beck,
We did. That was good. Talking about some strong man.
startingstrongman.com, and that's going to come out Thursday.
Yep. And we have a deadlift program.
Man, tell them what you did with that deadlift.
So I started thinking about the questions that I was getting. People want to know, like, what is this thing? What happens when I get it, so that I'll know when I go buy it on the website what's going to happen. So what I did was I went ahead and gave away 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of that 3-month program. You can go to liftheavyrunlong.com and you can sign up to get the first 2 weeks of the 3-month deadlift program, and it'll be emailed to you, and you can check it out, and you can see exactly what you're going to get when you buy that program.
Within the first 2 weeks, this program is guaranteed to take you from Richard to James Taylor,
There you go.
at least. And then if you buy the program from there, definitely Pantera.
You're going to get to Pantera by the end of month 3. And we'll ask you to post a video with Pantera in the background hitting that 400-pound or 315-pound deadlift.
Yes. I want people to come find me on Twitter, Instagram, at Lift Run Long.
I do
That's
too.
where I spend my time. Just hanging out in Twitter world. When nobody's talking to me, I'm really, really depressed and Richard.
I'm really Richard when people don't talk to me on social media as
And
well.
we still have Reddit. We need some subscribers.
We need some subscribers. Yeah, we need some participation. So go post some inspiring links on there. Reddit.com/r/liftheavyrunlong.
And as always, we have Ted Horrell and the Monday Night Card chipping away at us with their music, giving us their music.
Boom.
Which is awesome. And we are doing this thing 3 times a week, so we are hard at work. Blogging, podcasting, Twittering, Redditing.
And we're getting fancy equipment too, and so hopefully we're going to start sounding better and better every single time.
We're working on it. Any advice or suggestions is always welcome. Of course, when you give them to me, I'll get all pissed off and shut you down. But
We just buy stuff and plug it in. And
I don't know what it is.
Talk.
Some of this stuff, I don't even plug it in. I just buy it and then determine it doesn't help and buy it again. All right, man. We'll be back on Friday.
all right.
Dude.
Later.
You're not sure where you got that idea, but you're not giving it up. It's such a wonderful point of view.